Hi, I'm Cassidy Stonebeck, and I'm from Lawrence High School. Thank you. I get to intern with Bonnie Watson Coleman, and I'm here tonight because I believe that through events like this and political action, we can make the world a better place for everyone and the future generations. I'm introducing Josh Welle, who is running District 4 against Chris Smith. He's a former class president at the Naval Academy, and Josh served 12 years in the Navy on tours across the globe before returning to New Jersey to found a tech company that provides services to the Pentagon. As a veteran, he is focused on supporting veterans and dealing with mental health and substance abuse crisis in America. Josh is also determined to improve natural disaster preparedness and recovery after the devastation of Hurricane Sandy, and he is focused on making the Jersey Shore more resilient to climate change. Please welcome Josh Welle.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out on a Sunday night. I have a few disclaimers. One, I was never a Marine. My Marine Corps roommates would speak ill of that, Tom.
Can I say Marine? I'm sorry.
One of the proudest days of my life was when I watched my 3 roommates from the Naval Academy graduate from TBS, which was incredible in Quantico. But that's one correction. The other I should share is that Chris Smith nominated me to the Naval Academy 20 years ago. So we have an opportunity here to thank him for his belief in my leadership. As you know, Chris Smith has been in office 38 years.
Time to go.
I'm 38. And I'm so grateful to the Princeton community. Assemblyman, thank you, sir. It means a lot having you convene this great audience, because the pathway through to win back the House is through New Jersey. Mikey, Tom, Andy, myself, we will win back the House and we will right the ship. This is a new day for Democrats. I really believe it. If you look what happened in Pennsylvania with Connor Lamb, if you see what happened in Kentucky with Amy McGrath, another Naval Academy grad, if you see what's happening in North Carolina with Dan McCready, veterans are running for office because this is not about partisanship anymore. It's about preserving this fragile democracy. For context, I was born in Trenton. I was raised in Monmouth County on the Jersey Shore. My father was a 40-year prosecutor. My mom was an English teacher. And I think she was 8 months pregnant when she graduated Trenton State and at 40 years old. 40 years old to get her first college degree. And my grandmother earned her PhD in 1952. So there's this yin and yang. My mom grew up in Conshohocken. My grandfather was a union worker, a drinker, and there was incredible turbulence in her life. And my dad grew up in Bloomfield, went to Brown, went to church on Sunday. Everything was very organized and clean. And that yin and yang produced 3 boys on the Jersey Shore, and I was the youngest. No rules, tumbleweed, lots of sports, and I found sanctuary in teams. Home, that kind of stress kind of made its way into our home, and I found happiness in other outlets. Then the team of all teams, the Naval Academy, where if you've been there in Memorial Hall, it says, "Don't give up the ship." And below that are about 800 names of people who died in World War II, people who gave their life for this country. And as we stood there at 18 years old and swore to defend that Constitution, it didn't matter what you look like, where you come from, what your religion is, men and women, we were going to stand up and we were going to have shared purpose. For a decade, we deployed after 9/11. Friends of mine didn't come home. One of my best friends didn't come home from Kabul. One of my other good friends from Helmand lost his legs. Dan Knausen lost his legs, Navy SEAL. 24 months later, ran the New York City Marathon. 6 months ago, just won 6 Olympic medals in the Paralympics in Korea. He and I studied at the Harvard Kennedy School together. He's a Republican, and he loves this country. How we can unite in a time of great division is what calls me to service now. If we think about where we are as a country, I will tell you, I've been to every town from Howell to Hamilton to Allentown, and they are tired of Chris Smith. They're saying 38 years is too long. He hasn't done a town hall in 24 years, and he is not standing up for safety in schools. He is not protecting our DACA kids. He's not making sure that we have affordable health care. He's not preparing us for this new great digital economy. When it's too expensive to buy a house in New Jersey, seniors are leaving, young people can't buy a house, and we are slowly losing our stature in America. New Jersey should lead again. We can lead again. The green economy, we have an opportunity if we have a new generation of leaders who put problem solving over partisanship. For the first time in 38 years, you're going to have a leader for District 4 who fights for women's rights. Who fights and funds Planned Parenthood. For the first time in 38 years, you're going to have someone who says LGBTQ rights are human rights. For the first time in 38 years, you're going to have a leader who stands up for women for equal pay, because that's not a man issue, that's a family issue, and women deserve equal pay in our society. And District 4 is the worst district in New Jersey, and we're going to get it back up. Women deserve that pay. They need leaders in Washington to do it. Now I know, for my colleagues, this is a team sport. And I know Chris Smith is tough to beat. That's why we need your help. We are going to beat Chris Smith because we've never run a veteran against a guy who says he's good on veteran issues. When I go to VFWs in Freehold and Howell, they're siding with us. Just last week, there's a woman who voted for Smith for 30 years. And on Tuesday, she voted for Josh Welle in the primary. We're going to beat Chris Smith because women in the Women's March of 2017 and 2018 are marching for a better future for their daughters and their granddaughters. And they're going to march to November 6th and get Chris Smith out of there on November 6th. We're going to win because moms demand action, dads demand action, students demand action, and if you're not taking action, you're getting voted out. I will share with you that we had a very intense primary in CD4. We had a social justice warrior versus a Navy veteran who loves his country dearly, who's a progressive, but also wants to get things done, who's a person who says, let's not have perfection be the enemy of good enough. Because I'll tell you what, we want Democrats in front of Chris Smith, we want Democrats in front of Mitch McConnell, we want Democrats in front of every daggone GOP who takes us backwards in this country. We need to get rid of Chris Smith on November 6th, and we need to elect Democrats, and that's how we're going to keep this country on track. When I come to Princeton, I'm inspired because you have a view of the world, you have optimism for the world, and you know you can affect change in New Jersey. This is our country. If we don't step up and protect it, we're going to lose it. This is our climate. If we don't protect the Jersey Shore from offshore drilling, we're going to lose it. This is our future and this is our time. I'm so grateful to be here tonight. We want to work with you. We want to work side by side every candidate. If we're going to stop Trump, if we're going to make this country strong and move it forward, we need a new generation of leaders. Let's get to work. Let's go.